Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
I don't want to. I don't.
Come on, man. You can do this. You can do this.
And I'm Count Jackula, and we just saw Psycho Killer.
Today, we're going to talk about Psycho Killer, directed by Gavin Polone. Psycho Killer is a slasher, serial killer film, thriller thing. It's about a cop played by Georgina Campbell, who we actually saw recently this year in Cold Storage, who actually does a good job in her role, though I don't think she's given enough to work with, ultimately, in this movie.
Okay, like, one of the problems with this movie is, you know how everyone's like, why don't they do original things anymore? And that's because sometimes original things don't work. Sometimes they just don't work.
Fair enough.
And this is a test case of that.
Fair enough, fair enough. It follows a cop, played by Georgina Campbell, whose husband is killed by a titular psycho killer, who is a satanic serial killer who is going on a rampage across country, killing random people in the name of Satan. And she is determined to get revenge for her dead husband and track him down herself, because authorities seem utterly incompetent at tracking him down, which, to be honest, I've watched enough true crime documentaries to know that that's probably accurate. It's got all the beats it needs to tell its plot, but it feels like it's missing its story for me.
Yes.
Like, to give an example of what I mean about the difference between, like, plot and story, the plot of Rocky is you have a guy, you know, who gets a chance to fight the champion and then loses.
Yeah.
The story of Rocky is a guy proves to himself and the world around him that he can go toe-to-toe with the champ.
With the champ, yeah. Even if he doesn't win, he's worthy of the match.
That's the difference between a plot and a story, right? They tell a different story in a certain extent.
The problem with this movie is that, to be fair, the movie's not completely worthless.
No, there's a lot of stuff in this movie I really like.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on that's actually really good. But if you want to talk about the movie as a whole, it does something unexpected.
It does.
And then it kind of falls apart because you're sitting there going, why?
We'll talk about that in the spoiler section, because that is the biggest spoiler in this movie.
Yes.
Is essentially the entire last third of this movie, which, in a weird way, I kind of like it, but I get what Jack's saying. I totally get what Jack's saying. But before you even get to that, one of my biggest problems with this movie is I just feel like you don't get enough of the main character. Like, you get a lot of the psycho killer in this movie.
Yes.
And you follow a lot of him. It's not quite like Maniac levels of getting in his head, but you get more in his head than you actually do the main character in this movie.
Yeah. To the point where it kind of makes you wonder, like, why we're following the cop at all.
Yeah. Why not just follow the psycho killer?
Why not just follow him and just...
And then have, like, the cop chasing them be more like a Loomis kind of figure.
Yeah. Basically, like, you actually switch up the roles where it's like, no. We're following our killer, but the thing that keeps interrupting his shit is like the Dr. Loomis or the cop or the whatever who's hunting him down. Because
on paper, the story is about a cop getting revenge for the death of her husband. That's the story. But that is not really emphasized through a huge chunk of this movie, and it's kind of lost in the weeds by the end of the movie when the stakes of the movie
especially
get huge.
When the stakes of the movie take a sudden quantum jump.
Like, I was thinking about other, like, revenge movies kind of like this, where you have, like, a character loses a loved one and then goes on, like, a revenge spree or, like, tries to hunt someone down or whatever. And I realized this movie lacks some very pivotal scenes that are kind of cliche, but you know why all those movies have them.
Yeah, like what?
It doesn't have the scene. And now picture this in your head, in your mind's eye. She's been chasing down the killer. She's had a hard day. She goes back to her fucking, like, whatever fucking hotel room she's staying at that night. Gets in the shower to wash off all the blood and grime from, like, nearly catching him, but he got away and whatnot. And in the shower, remembers the last time she took a shower with her husband and, like, breaks down crying in the shower.
Right.
It has no scenes like that in this.
It does not.
There is no scenes or flashbacks or, like, memories of what her and her husband's relationship were like.
Yeah, it kind of just it relies on the plot to tell you.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad idea.
The most connection you have to her husband for most of the movie is the fact that she's doing all of this throughout the movie pregnant. But even then, by the second half of the movie, that's such a non-issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't really even matter.
I forgot that she was even pregnant.
Exactly.
You know?
It's such a non-fucking issue. And I just feel like even just a cliche scene like the one I just described would do wonders to at least get into the head of the main character.
Right.
Because I know what the serial killer likes and dislikes. We see him making choices throughout the movie that tells me, okay, he likes that kind of person, hates that kind of person. Got it. I do not know anything about this cop by the end of the movie, other than the fact that she loved her husband and also dislikes the patriarchy because she's constantly butting up against really incompetent men throughout the entire story. But to be fair to some of those men, she's also just straight up breaking the rules in a way where they're technically not wrong about her not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Not because she's a woman, but because, like, literally this isn't your jurisdiction.
You shouldn't be here.
You know,
you are a local cop. You are a state trooper. Why are you involved in this?
Here you're a civilian, like straight up. You can't be doing this. I gotta commend the movie for doing a lot of showing and not telling, like when she's like piecing together things in the movie.
Yeah.
But at times, I do wish she had someone to talk to, just so I could get into her head more. You realize there's a reason why there's two cops in the movie 7.
Yeah.
The scenes that you really remember with the two cops is when they get into, like, philosophical debates.
Yeah.
Competing worldviews, clashing at any given moment. The more fucking pessimistic cop and then the least pessimistic cop.
Yeah. One's like, no, the world's not that bad a place. The other guy's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then did you not see what we just had to deal with? And
then you get that beautiful thing at the end of the movie where they basically kind of flip positions.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And the only reason why I bring up 7 is because this movie made a fucking big deal about the fact that it was written by the writer of 7.
Yes.
So the comparisons to 7, it kind of invited. But I feel like if she at least had someone to bounce, not necessarily exposition off of, but like her fucking emotions off of.
Yeah.
Just so I can understand who this cop is, what she cares about, what she loves, what she hates, get to know her a little better. Because those two cops from fucking 7, you really get to know them.
Yes.
You know them inside and out by the end of that movie. But I couldn't tell you shit about this woman that isn't just describing she has a husband and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I actually really like all the satanic shit in this movie, but there is something really hokey about it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it's hokey in a way that's almost, it gets in the way of this movie's very serious tone. You know, it's like
when Malcolm McDowell suddenly shows up as a satanic priest.
But that scene at least fits the hokiness, right?
Right.
Those scenes at least feel like they're intentionally hokey. I mean, it feels like this movie was written by someone where just the word Satan scares them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
To the point where people go like, oh my God, Satan. And it's so over the top. I'm just sitting there going like, what the fuck? I think if this movie were made in the 80s, it might have flew better, like during the Satanic Panic and whatnot.
Right.
But today, it just feels like over the top and goofy with the way they do it.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
The Malcolm McDowell scenes, though, I really love because those are the scenes where I feel like they fulfill the potential of hokiness that this movie could have done if it leaned more into the goofiness, right?
It's really weird because the movie does get goofy, but it gets goofy in this very weird way that you feel is almost supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
and you're
I know
like,
what you mean.
What? No, you can't take this seriously. This is ridiculous.
The one thing I do like about this movie is I do like all of the killing sprees he goes on.
Yeah.
They're always on screen. They're always pretty fun. They have some CGI blood splatter at times that I'm not too fond of, but the overall vibes of the scenes work for me. But every time it cuts to like the cops, and the cops are just like, oh my God, Satan? You're telling me Satan? Holy shit, Satan? I'm just like, oh my God, the word Satan is not as scary as you think it is. Like, Jesus Christ, guy, take it down a notch.
Oh, man, maybe we should get on to the spoilers.
Okay, we will move on to the spoilers in a minute. I think this movie, at its best, is like a C-grade movie, and at its worst, it's just trash. And it kind of variates throughout the movie where that's at. It was in theaters. It's now available on streaming. Rent it, pick your poison, and enjoy. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, let's move on to the spoilers.
All right, so the Psycho Killer's ultimate plot is that he's going to set off nukes at 3 Mile Island.
Yep. He's going to
cause the whole plant to melt down, nuclear Armageddon.
Yep, that is the plan. He's literally going to send the world into a hellmouth, essentially.
Yeah.
Turn the world into hellfire.
Yeah, turn the world into hellfire.
For Satan.
For Satan. And this was about the moment where I was like, what? On the one hand, I was like, well, kudos to you, movie. I didn't see this coming.
It is very interesting because up until that point in the movie, it was kind of more of like a horror thriller. And then suddenly it felt like it turned into an action movie.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I like it because I've never seen a movie do this before, like have that sudden of a shift in the third act. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure it works.
I didn't think that it did. Because, like, the movie itself didn't get me to buy in.
That's fair.
On
That's
that
fair.
level. I think something that you said, which I'll have to admit is 100% true. If this had been directed by Takeshi Miike, it'd be genius.
You could totally see that fucking shift happen. Well, he's really good at having those, like, wild shifts in his movies.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. Hell, if you had, like, someone like Park Chan-wook or fucking Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, yeah,
like those Korean filmmakers.
Like, fuck, yeah.
They're really good at that shit, too.
I'd have bought into that. Because that's what they do. They get you to buy into these crazy ideas.
The movie does set everything up so that the ending can happen.
Yeah.
There's seeds are planted, there's clues, and you watch the character like piece them together, and it's not even like done through dialogue. It's all like either background information that you pick up while watching the movie or like visually shown to you. And yet, it still feels like it comes out of nowhere when it happens.
Yeah.
And it's jarring. Again, for me, I'm like, do I like how jarring it is, or am I annoyed at how jarring it is? I honestly don't know.
I 100% believe this is the movie they set out to make.
Yes. And it was a bold choice.
It was a bold choice. I don't think it worked.
Fair.
It just, something about it just didn't come together.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere between first 2/3 of the movie and the last third of the last act. Somewhere in that transition is where everything fell apart for me.
I can totally see that.
And I'm just sitting there going like, what? Okay. I kind of want to see what happens, but I'm not sure how happy about it I am.
Yeah. The serial killer downs like painkillers at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
And they make a big deal out of that. Like he stole a bunch of painkillers and he's fucking downing them at the beginning. It doesn't become a factor at all at the end of the movie.
No,
it's like a setup for something that doesn't really come into play. In fact, it actually makes some scenes later a little bit more confusing that it had that, because later there's a scene in which he like visibly gets upset at people snorting cocaine in front of him.
Yeah, doing drugs in front of him. And you're sort of like...
Now, I understand some of the subtext of it. In the scene, he is meeting with a bunch of fellow true believers, Satanists.
Yeah.
And he is visiting them in their mansion, and they are essentially holding like a drug orgy party.
Right.
And so they're taking drugs and they're having an orgy and whatnot and having a good time. Now, in his mind, these people aren't true Satan believers.
Right.
They're people who are using Satan as an excuse to just be hedonistic and party and whatnot. Whereas he's trying to carry out Satan's mission.
Right.
In his mind. Popping those pills to complete his mission so that he doesn't feel pain along the way is part of the fucking job. He's getting the job done. It's not for kicks.
Yeah.
Whereas they're all doing the cocaine to not do anything, to just, party and whatever.
And of course, the guy could just be a gigantic hypocrite.
But it is weird in the moment, right? That's also true. He's a serial killer. He doesn't have to necessarily be coherent. But it is weird when it happens, because you are sitting there going like, but wait, man, you're popping those pills earlier. And then you realize that the movie kind of forgets that he's popping those pills for the rest of the movie. The other weird thing in the movie is that throughout the entire movie, they're trying to figure out who he is, and they think he's like a copycat because of like some guy who committed a crime in the past.
Right, but it turns out he's the actual guy.
He's the actual guy, and I was confused at that because I was just like, wait, hold on. How did you not think it was him from the get-go? Did he escape from jail? Because I was assuming up until that point that he had been killed in his fucking shooting spree.
Yeah, he was killed in the shooting spree or some other shit happened.
But I guess he wasn't and went to jail, which means he broke out at some point, but like no one brings it up as a possibility throughout the movie because it can't possibly be him. And I'm just
Can't possibly be that guy.
But wait, if he broke out of jail, then it could obviously be him. There was no one informed that he broke out? Maybe something was mentioned in the movie and I just missed it. Because there is a lot of stuff in this movie that you have to like pay attention to like piece the things together because they don't necessarily give you a lot of expository dialogue for it, which I actually appreciate that. I just wish there was like some more like insight into the characters.
Yeah.
Though you do get more insight into the killer because you spend a lot of time with him. And because you're constantly watching him judging people, you get to know how he feels about things.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to...
Yeah, I don't know what else to really talk about there. It's a movie.
It's a messy, messy movie.
It's a mess, yeah. He tries to blow up 3 Mile Island. It's called Psycho Killer. Oh, and at the end, he goes back to a military prison. I don't know. You fucking tell me.
I think he's supposed to be going back to the prison he broke out of, but like... They didn't really make a big deal about him breaking out of the prison in the first place. So.
It's the government, man.
Anyway, my fellow gorehounds, that is Psycho Killer. And with that said...
Oh, you can find me in your mind's eye here at YouTube, where I stream every weekday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And if you made it this far into the video, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag 3 Mile Island. Peace out, and we'll catch y'all later.